firepower, hopping the skull or hopping the flame. Why is the? Oh no, it's just the bad guy. Hopping the flame over Ottardo's head and dropping it on this guy.
All right.
And yeah, that's his sustain a spell action. DC 21. Can I like repost Flaming Spear without actually casting it?
I don't think that's a thing, which is a little unfortunate. Here we go. Succeeded this time, so only half damage, or no? I think in this case no damage, right? Or is it just a basic?
It's a basic.
Okay, well then it's still half damage. Oh no, it does say creatures that succeed take no damage instead of half. I thought I remembered that. Okay. So that's 2 actions left.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, well, that's disappointing, but he will not hesitate to keep on. Oh, let me target it. Throwing a little more fire at it. I think I'm 30 feet away. Hope I'm 30 feet away. I miscalculated if I'm not. Okay.
You are.
All right. There we go.
Okay. Oh no, you targeted the flaming spear.
I was gonna say, is that really a critical hit? How would that be a critical hit? I targeted my spear.
Yeah, it is a regular hit though.
Okay. This seems a little high, but let me double check it.
Is that, yeah, it is heightened. Increase the damage by 1d4, so that's 3d4 at this level.
And what level is the spell considered to be?
Cantrip 3, it says, so level 3.
Okay, so that is correct then. Yeah.
Oh, that's really damn good. Cantrips rock. Okay,
it's because my diabolic bloodline gives me more damage to certain spells. So
nice. Yeah, so you do a good amount of damage to that heap as you just cover it in flames, both with the sphere and the produced flame. That's your turn?
it's my turn.
Okay. Is anyone following the new Glass Cannon Networks podcast Let's Play thing?
Nope. The Gatewalkers one?
The Gatewalkers one, yeah.
No, I haven't been keeping up with it.
So they also, as a group, they have the same issue that probably every Pathfinder group has, which is that they get excited when they read a spell description and then they forget to read that last line, like when they're playing here.
It is so, like hiding down there.
Yeah. So a fan actually sent them a pocket edition of the Secrets of Magic book where they had white outed all the last lines of the spell. What? That's a really fun idea. All right. Okay, so yeah, so the heap that was just buried in flames by Lucca, I guess it has enough of a survival instinct that it realizes it needs to move if it wants to stay, well, for lack of a better word, alive. So it's gonna move over here as its first action, and then as its second action, and kind of like as part of that movement, I would say for flavor reason, it's like moving almost into Soma's square, really wrapping part of its misshapen mass around her and starting to squeeze. And Soma, you feel like that force on your body just kind of like rearranging your internal organs. You feel like something inside may be popping, and it's just very painful. So let's see. We do 6 points of bludgeoning damage. Wait before you apply that. And you actually get a fortitude save here. Wow. Okay. So you take no bleed damage. You only take half of that bludgeoning damage. But what is strange is it's not just apparently the physical stress of being squeezed like that. because it seems to be tapping into your actual vital essence, and some of that helps it heal and repair its own moldy and tumorous
Uh,
flesh. Yep,
well, Ottardo was going to react. Is it still part of the same,
it's
still the
also
same
the same
action?
action. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Ottardo will react to that. He will, uh, oddly enough, step in the same square as the flaming ball.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, grant Soma resistance 7 to the damage and take a swing at
And
the
you can do that
monstrosity.
if it's just any kind of damage. It doesn't have to be an attack.
The trigger says an enemy damages your ally.
Okay, well, it is an
Wow.
enemy and it damages your ally, so yeah, sure. Okay, so then that means that Soma actually took no damage? Wow, okay. So I guess then you feel like you feel this physical stress on your body and you feel like it's trying to tap into your life force, but then like as your vision maybe is starting to get a little blurry, you see this like shining outline of Ottardo step into view and you sense his power kind of pushing back on the creature's attempt and you go walk away with no damage at all. But then Ottardo misses and it kind of ruins the moment.
But now
Um,
his turn anyway.
yeah. And then it's Ottardo's. Nope, that's not true. That was just one action for it. So it
But
stepped, it squeezed, and now it can squeeze again.
that's it.
Um, because it's still grabbing you, so it can just squeeze again. So you get another fortitude save. You succeed, so you take half of this damage, and it then regains half of that. So that would be 2. And yeah, basic fortitude save. So the rider does not apply. And then okay, great. All right, Ottardo, your move.
Well, Ottardo is going to raise his shield and then try to just unmake this thing as quick as possible. And nope.
That is not the way to do it. That looks more like it. And you slam it for 14 points.
And that's it.
That's your round or your turn. Birke.
Uh, Birke. Uh, doesn't like being right next to this thing. So she is going to stride over here. And then from that position, she will target the horrible mass that was next to her.
And she strikes successfully. The one that was next to her. Yep. Okay. So
And
let's see
then
the
she
damage.
is going to attempt to do so again, but fail.
But we didn't see. Oh, we did see. Oh, that's the damage. I thought that was the attack roll. Okay. Yes. She almost slices the thing into bits and pieces, but its resistance helps it survive for one more round. And then it's turn. Wait, is that true? Yes,
The
it
other one.
is. So what does it do? I mean, the other one is or Soma is already claimed essentially. So I think it'll just step up, target Ottardo, and try to. Oh, you know what? Let's mix it up a little bit. It's like it's been badly hit by Birka, and it can see, like, or doesn't necessarily see, but sense the direction of where it's coming from. And I think at this point that will trigger like a self-preservation instinct, and you see it sort of like um, punch up, and then all of a sudden, um, kind of in an explosive movement, it like opens up, and this barrage uh, of sharp bones comes flying out and attacks Birka, missing her with the first one. And I'll say that it's like literally a barrage. It's like shung 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 shung. And but all of them miss. So even though she certainly did not see that coming, she manages to avoid them all. And that was its round, and then it's Soma's turn.
Well, Soma still has her blade drawn, so at this point she will just start hacking at it with all her might in desperation, trying to get this thing off.
Oh, sorry. Hold up. So Birke is still grabbed. Did she break free from that?
I forgot that she was. So she couldn't have done that. Well, we can say that she did it from there,
Okay. Did the attack from there? Yeah.
and maybe for the last action she could attempt to break free with a -10,
Yep.
which
Okay.
is athletics. 14. I assume that fails.
Yeah, that fails. That's true. Okay. And yeah, that's fine then. All right. Now it's Soma's turn.
Yeah. I'll hack at this thing, trying to get it off. Punctuation for emphasis, like they say. 1.
That's a hit. And you slash
Nice.
at it. Yep.
And 2. Oh. And 3.
Okay. So those are misses. So you kind of, it looks a little desperate. You had a lucky hit there, but clear that you are at a disadvantage here. Lucca.
Desperate because somebody is desperate.
Mm-hmm.
I said before that Lucca was concentrating his firepower. I like to imagine that he like splits it now, and you see like a chunk, just a waft of flame come off of the sphere as it goes in two different directions. The actual sphere itself is going to come over here and hopefully catch that guy.
I'm just gonna roll it off the.
Nope.
Ooh, crit succeeds.
All right. And the other one is going to come in the form of a produce flame on this guy.
Okay.
Oh,
But it misses.
I was trying to be too fancy. Sorry.
All right. And then it's the one that you just missed its turn, and it has Soma grabbed, and it continues to kind of feed on her. You feel the squeeze once again. Let's see. We have. Oh well, I should actually do this save first. So that's for Soma. You succeed. Okay, so you take 4 points of damage.
Again, Ottardo will react.
Gotcha.
So that's resistance 7 to the
Okay,
damage.
so once again, that saves you from taking any damage, but it continues.
Ooh.
Or maybe not.
Oh, maybe it won't continue to squeeze. Indeed, it doesn't. Ottardo just righteously smashes it into a bloody pulp, or even more so than it was before. All right, that ends its turn early, and then it's Ottardo's turn.
Uh, um, can he? Yes, he can. Ottardo will stride around the remaining monstrosity, and now that he's flanking it with Birke, he apparently lost
Ooh.
his footing.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you slipped on that bloody slime that is
You.
left on one of those heaps, and you kind of like you're off balance and have to collect
Oh
yourself,
no.
and it's pretty bad. All right. Yeah, so not just having, being off balance, but also being very grossed out about that. So Birke.
Ah, Birke is grabbed by this thing and just
Mhm.
attempts to cut herself free, maybe?
Oh, she's attacking it. Okay. 7 points trying to hit it, but it's just so resistant against this slashing damage. It's very unfortunate for her. And instead, it starts squeezing her as well. So let's see the save for Birke.
Let me make sure. Okay.
Crit succeeds, so I don't even need to roll that damage then. But second action is once again a squeeze. And that is a regular success, so it might take half of this. Unless Ottardo intervenes.
No more reactions.
But you just had your turn.
Yeah. You have one.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Ottardo will do so.
Oh, right.
Sure.
Your attack of opportunity again.
Nice.
Come on. This is really what gets Ottardo going, I guess, is like helping others. That's what when he really feels inspired and shines.
As a true paladin, he is obligated to save fair maidens.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, so as Birke also like gets this encroaching feeling of that thing, not just physically hurting her, but also trying to get to her life's essence. Ottardo behind it like raises his hammer and with a blow of pure righteousness splatters this last one as well. Did you take out all three of them, Sam?
The last two, yes. The first one I don't remember.
Well, this was pretty badass. I'll say that. Ottardo is truly a champion. All right,
I think you're right in that he did more damage off of reactions than on his turn.
yeah. All right, so yeah, as you overcome these things and you put them down, you destroy them, you all get 90 XP.
I'm pretty sure that was Ottardo getting the last hit on everything.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, the bludgeoning weapon definitely makes a difference here as well, but yeah, good work.
90.
All right. Yeah.
90?
Yes. Does it look like there's enough in those cells to spawn more monstrosities?
No, now that these heaps have moved out of the cells, there are just, individual bits and pieces of a long, rotten, and dried up gore and bone that are laying in there. But
I was gonna say Lucca uses the remainder of the time on the flaming sphere to just send it into these cells and just try to incinerate anything he can.
well, can it squeeze through the bars, or does it have like a
It
texture?
I don't think that. I mean, I think it says something about hopping over gaps. It just says you can leave the sphere on its square or roll it to another square within range. So it doesn't really give any clarification. I know it doesn't occupy a space.
But
It
it's
must be
just that
supported. It must be
it's
supported by a solid surface, such as a stone floor.
right, but it does say that it is a sphere of flame. It used to say something about a spongy texture, so I think they got rid of that, and it truly is just flame. So I would say that it can squeeze through there with no
Well,
problem.
apparently, it can't hop. That must be a 5e thing. Yeah. Well, I can't move it through, but it's
Right,
Lucas.
I'll move it through. Yeah, so you send it in there, and you move it around, and it like singes and burns a couple of those things, but there's no response, no reaction to that. And if your spell lasts for long enough, we can assume that you do that with the other cells as well.
Yeah, I think I have another like 6 rounds on it or something, so I'll just kind of quickly round through as much as I can.
You try to cleanse the cells as best as you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the cell doors are all locked. But you do see in that center cell there is indeed something glittering under the now charred dust and remains.
Okay, well, let me double check, but Birke. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe Soma would like to give this a try first.
Yeah, Soma still mutters under her breath, and as so she will try to do. And she will continue complaining, like see, this text is a necrotic ectoplasm all over the keyhole. I mean, I can't even feel the levers now. They ruin everything.
Oh, I thought you were just going to use telekinetic projectile to launch it to us.
Well, it strikes someone, but I mean, I can just.
Or mage hand, yes. I forgot you had that. That's perfect.
All right, yeah. So you reach in there with your magic and pull out a little copper key that you hopefully are
Ooh.
able to put on your sheet.
Someone will put it. Copper key, yeah.
It is somewhat stained from like age-old gore and grime, but yeah, looks perfectly serviceable. And I'll tell you that the key itself does not look particularly ornate. It looks very much just like a regular key that you would expect to find in any sort of uh, home or establishment.
Someone immediately will try to open the cell with it.
It does not fit the lock.
Oh well. It would have been weird if it did.
Yeah. mm.
Alright.
I guess unless somebody locked themselves in there because they were fleeing from something.
We've seen things.
That's right.
Lucca will cast a quick detect magic around here and just make sure he's not missing anything in these cells that pings magic.
Okay, your the glitter in your eyes changes color for a moment, but you sense no magic other than what you brought to this place.
Oh, this place was a gory and horrible detour, it seems.
Yes, Soma, under purely bardic intuition, she will try to inspect this wall. Maybe if this dead end corridor actually has some secrets more to unveil, and
Gotcha.
if
You can
back.
um yeah, you can give me a secret perception.
Blind, indeed.
Yep. Okay.
While that is happening, Ottardo is going to lay on hands and then refocus.
Mm-hmm. So that means spending 10 minutes, right?
Yep.
Okay, so if you spend 10 minutes, then if that's all that Soma's doing, you could take 20 on it.
I
Is
guess
that
so
still the
because
same thing? I don't know.
well, it's
No.
There's no
it
take
takes
back.
even less to take 20, so she will she will spend at least a couple of minutes looking. So
Yeah, but just from my understanding, there's formally there's no taking 20 anymore.
No. No.
okay.
There's assurance only, and you need
Sure.
the feat for it.
Okay. But I mean, if she has 10 minutes, she could literally roll as many times as she likes.
Yeah,
Right.
unless there is a risk for failure,
Right. Right.
but not for
So
perception, I guess.
effectively, there still kind of is taking 20. Yes.
Codified, but you know.
Yeah. I
Just
know
keep
that there's
rolling.
no taking 10. That they got rid of that purposefully, but I guess you should still be able to succeed at something that. Yeah, you don't actually need to roll all of them.
Keep
I'm
going,
just
Carlos. Keep going.
I just
No,
want to
but
see
I guess
how it happens.
but I guess what we'll see as Ottardo is like repairing the chinks in his armor and maybe muttering a prayer. Um, Soma is super suspicious of that section of the wall and feeling like that's a dead end right here. Is it really? Could it be?
Something
But
always
yeah,
should be there, yeah, right?
yeah, but no, you seem you seem maybe still suspicious, but you have assured yourself that there is no hidden mechanism or secret door.
Pointing. Okay. And at least it distracted her from depressing thoughts of like goo monsters.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as we move forward 10 minutes, I would need everyone's exploration activity. So it looks like Birke and Soma have been basically doing the same thing, which is scouting ahead or checking behind.
Yes.
Do you continue to want to do that? Kind of redundant, just
Let
from a metagaming perspective.
me double check. Where's the party? There it is. Okay. I think Birke could do. Which is the one? It's either search or seek.
I could switch to investigate.
Well, one of you. So seek is not an. I don't think that's an exploration activity. I think seek is the action you take. The one action. Search is the one that you want.
Where are they? Exploration.
Lucca would spend the 10 minutes refocusing, and then he would go back to detecting magic like he usually does.
All
Okay,
right.
so Birke switch it to search.
Okay, but Carnus, you now switch to investigate. Do you want to stay with that, or do you want to go back to
Yeah, I think I will go with.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. So where do we go next? Yeah, you retrace your steps here. You backtrack back into that weird room with all the rusty chains dangling from the ceiling, where you battled the strange blue-skinned feral creature.
Oh yeah, the rust thing.
Mm-hmm. The hole in the ground is beckoning. No? Okay. Okay.
There's oh, that's the stairwell. That right? Okay.
Did we
Oh,
check like at the back of the room where there's
I
the
don't think you
chains in
really.
and
I don't think you really spend any time there.
there must be some magic. Magic.
Yeah, as you're like investigating and searching and sensing magic as you move around, nothing stands out. Nothing seems to be. Um, hang on, hold on a second.
I recall walking under this chain and being impressed by the overhead nature of it.
Yes. Yeah, but there's nothing registers. Nothing stands out perceptually.
What about that funny nook, Souma?
Well,
Doesn't that tickle your bardic fancy?
in, well, it didn't until you said so. Fine.
All right, we'll spend some time here. You can.
Yes, I mean, now someone wants to check it out.
Okay, you can do an explicit, or like this is not part of your exploration activity. Then this is something that you actively trigger. So give me a search check, perception.
I mean, wouldn't you feel foolish if it was something and you didn't look?
Yeah, you feel like Lucca's right, but there doesn't seem to be anything here.
Look at it. She will even like hit the wall with a scabbard and with a crossguard of the blade to see if something pops up, but like no, nothing. Ottardo, whack it with a hammer. Maybe it will work.
are
Yes,
you
there
sure
we
you
go.
want
Try
to make
hitting that section of wall.
are you sure you want to do that and bring attention to us?
Oh, like we haven't already brought a tremendous amount of attention to ourselves.
Yeah, if nobody came here to investigate yet, I don't think anyone will.
Well, he's going to try that.
You like give it a couple of knocks, essentially, right?
Yeah, like try
Yeah.
to see if it sounds hollow.
Yeah, you check if it's hollow, you feel around the edge if there's any indentations, you like scratch it in some places to see if there's like fake paint on it or something, but nothing.
Well, you must not have hit it hard enough. But regardless, perhaps we should go for a path of less resistance.
It's like every wall is a secret door if you hit it hard enough.
Yeah.
Every wall is just a door that's waiting to be made.
All right, so there's the double doors at the southern end of this room, and you're welcome to continue if you like. All right, you open it up and you behold a pretty long hallway. There, from that hallway, you already see another like two sets of double doors branching off to the left and right. But also the hallway continues all the way as far as you can see, I think. And you can kind of make out a turn at the end, but it also seems to continue further than that.
Soma, by the way, I will actually holster the sword and pull out the flute.
Well, left or right?
I always say left is right.
Stage left or your left? Okay.
Throw the doors open simultaneously.
You throw the doors open and behold a room that is slightly illuminated. There are a couple of lanterns that hang from the ceiling, and they shine bright circles of light over three stone tables that are standing in this room and that are topped with metal slabs. There's a single chain that is dangling near each table, fairly lightweight. And there are the remnants of a dead creature lying on one of the slabs. Like you can see it's partially covered. The head is maybe like rolling off, tongue lolling out. It looks like a Morlock. On the walls, the floor, and the ceiling, everywhere you see splatters of blood. But it's long dried.
Can we assume that this looks like some sort of torture room?
Once Ottardo moves in, Soma will immediately start playing Inspired Defense, just in case.
Okay, so as you play Ottardo's theme song, he enters the room being like, "What is this? Was this used for torture?" Like already getting riled up to maybe have stumbled a room that would serve that vile purpose. Ottardo, you're not sure if it's really torture. Like you don't see, all of these like what you would often see in torture chambers, these elaborate machinations that seem to serve only the purpose of causing pain. That's not the sense you're getting here. This seems more methodical, more maybe surgical almost, um, in how it's arranged. Um, yeah, so there's that.
A laboratory of sorts.
And you move into the room here with Soma's music sounding out, echoing through the room, and then something changes. And you see from that table in the back where the remains of that creature are still um, reposed, a like greenish sort of light starts to not emanate, but more like gather and then kind of spill out of that covered form. And then that light gains texture and shape, and a creature starts to emerge that looks like a something like a skeleton, but more spectral in nature. Let me show you a picture that will be better than any way that I can explain it.
Ooh.
You can tell that from the bone structure and everything that it looks similar to what you would expect a Morlock's skeleton to look like slightly hunched, somewhat almost simian skull structure, which Lucca I'm sure will immediately be able to spot. And this creature forms, and the quality in the room changes. You just fear this intense hate and rage, almost as if this thing is just pure spectral anger and rage as it manifests fully. And we're gonna move it to initiative. I'm gonna move that here, and then I'm gonna add everyone to an encounter and roll our
I only
initiative.
have a chance to communicate amicably with undead if there are no living persons present, which
So you
makes it
gotta
really hard to use with a party.
you gotta kill them all. Um, so that
Party?
is how this starts. Soma.
So I'm a bit stumped, but because I said that I'm playing the Inspired Defense. Does it? I suppose I should renew it every round anyway. So I will Inspired Defense again and try to make it lingering.
Hmm?
Oh, check.
Not, but yeah. Okay, so that is one action.
Yes, and Julie, I I should just I uh, that I have disrupt undead cantrip gifted to me, but
Okay. Bef Oops, sorry. Nope, never mind. So that
okay.
was yeah.
I think I will make a token effort of shooting it till this projectile at this thing.
Okay.
Nope, it's also 30. So yeah, I will cast shield and step forward.
Okay. Step forward, please. And as you step forward, you sense this this rage and this anger also more fully, and it frightens you. Give me a will save.
Ah,
Oh
shit.
dear.
Home alone?
You are scared shitless by this. It's almost like you're you're responding emotionally maybe to this by being like, oh my god, that is the angry spirit that was of this creature that died in agony here. This is horrible. This is just it's gonna end us. There's no way to reason with an hateful ghost. So you're frightened for,
Oh, shit.
Wow, four.
and then that's your turn, I believe.
Yeah.
So, okay, then it's the creature's turn. And actually, Soma and Ottardo already were within range, so I would ask both of them to also make that save.
Uh, It's Birke and Ottardo, right?
Yes. All right. So you both basically just clench your weapons tighter and your shield, and you steel yourselves to fight this thing. All right, and then it's its turn. So what can it do? Uh, it moves, but the way it moves is a little particular. It so you see those lamps illuminating pretty much just the tables, those lights. And it moves almost squeezing itself like sideways to be as far away as possible from the two tables, it seems like, as it moves through this section here and then moves further all the way to here. Um, which now also brings Lucca into its frightful presence. So I will ask Lucca to make a will save as well. Nice. Critical save. Okay, so yeah, you are not scared by this at all, unaffected by its presence. And it has moved, it flies over here, and then it is going. I think it's gonna pick Ottardo just because he's such a juicy, um, full of vital energy, almost sacred sort of creature that it's just tempting to corrupt him. And it'll try to use its spectral corruption on you. So what it does is it just tries to touch you first, which it manages to do, and then it does damage to you. 17 points of just raw void damage, so just negative energy, like opening up necrotic wounds, hurting your spirit at its core. Yeah.
Would Ottardo be able to shield block that?
This is. Let's see.
Actually, never mind. He doesn't want to do it.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't seem to have any trades. Okay. Anyways, good. So yeah, so you take those 17 points of damage then, and with that, the creature seems to relish in this, and actually, it gains a couple of hit points here. There we go. And then I will need Ottardo to make a save.
Okay.
Nice, you succeed. So that's a regular success. Wow. You hold on. Does it correctly do this here? What's your level?
5?
Yep, this is correct. This is correct. So you are stupefied by this, despite succeeding. You are stupefied too, as a matter of fact, and you feel like your thoughts and instincts are just clouded as it passes on this rage and anger as a corruption, anchoring it in your mind, and it makes it hard for you to think straight. So you're stupefied too. And that was its turn, Ottardo.
Well, Ottardo is going to start by raising his shield. Let me drop that first. Okay, shield raised. And then he is going to step to flank the creature and then see just how incorporeal it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems quite incorporeal.
Yeah. That was it.
Yep, that's the turn.
And then we come to Birke.
Well, Birke will start by making this pray, making this girl
And that
pray.
will be religion.
Okay. Religion, yes.
Okay. She has certainly read and heard a great deal about angry spirits haunting the place of their demise. Um, but what this is in particular, she does not know.
Okay, well, barring that, she'll just try to slice the thing.
And misses.
What?
And
Oof.
misses again.
Oh dear.
Lucca.
Right. Well, I suppose I'm going to start by trying to figure out what I know about this thing.
All right.
I have lores that may be applicable.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, spirits, perhaps.
Yeah. I'll say yeah.
Uh,
Find the distinction between spirits and ghosts and whatever this is.
my religion is slightly higher, but I feel like the DC difference would make it better to use spirits.
Oh,
Guess.
I think you're welcome to use both in one roll. I don't think
Okay.
that it makes sense to think about these things separately.
Very well. Yes. Oh no, I need to think about it in terms of
Yeah.
spirits, not in terms of religious. Okay. I'll do both then. Oh, secret. Right, here we go. So here's spirits, and here is religion.
Okay. I'm only going to use the higher of the two, essentially, or the higher success. Okay, yeah. So for you, this kind of clicks. Makes total sense. A creature like a Morlock, potentially like an evil creature, having died here under what is at least, at the very least, suspicious circumstances, probably in great pain when it died. That this would cause a specter to rise makes a lot of sense to you. They are hateful remnants of a creature, usually an evil mortal creature that died, and they're always seeking to slay others just to kind of share their horrible fate, particularly humanoids. And they just want to spread pain among as many souls as they can. Um, they cannot be reasoned with. They have a corrupted sense of purpose. They are only there to, like I said, spread pain and suffering. Um, they are also known to to infect others with their corruption and essentially turn them into their thralls by doing so. So you seeing like Ottardo, you saw this creature trying to corrupt Ottardo, and he may seem a little woozy, but he did apparently fight it off. That at the same time, impresses you, but also makes you maybe feel uh, worried because it came really close. You can ask me one question about its stats. Oh, I'll tell you it's an incorporeal undead, and then you
Okay.
can ask me a question.
Um. Can I ask why it seems to be averse to the lanterns? Is that like a specific part of its stat block,
Yes.
like a light sensitivity, or?
That's a great question, and I would imagine like Lucca would think about this in the same terms. Like, well, if it's a specter, why would it be afraid of those lamps? And you realize, like, oh, specters usually are powerless in sunlight. It makes them clumsy and slow, and maybe because it probably died under these lamps, under these lights, maybe it has developed the same effect or the same averseness to this artificial light.
And are these lamps like sitting on the tables, or are they hanging from the ceiling?
They are magical, but they are
Oh,
lanterns hanging from the ceiling, and they're like shining down as this sort of cone.
okay. So does that mean that, I guess, since I had exploration detect magic, would I have pinged them as magical?
Yeah, you would know that they're magic.
Okay.
But
Um.
they do seem to have like this, like a general lantern, like a cone
Okay.
lantern, but the source is magic.
and they're pointed down,
Yep.
and they're hanging
Dangling
from
from the ceiling.
Yeah, okay. Well, Lucca will try to condense this into as few words as possible, and he says, "Don't let it touch you. It'll bend you to its own dark purpose. It's undead, incorporeal, and it hates those lanterns. Turn those lanterns against it." Um, how high up are the lanterns hanging?
I would say that if you were to stand on one of those tables, you could reach him.
Yeah, he's not even gonna bother like attacking the thing. He's gonna move right past it.
Okay.
And he's gonna like try to climb up on the table here. It
Okay.
says I can't do that because I'm colliding. But
Yeah. I mean that's just climbing on a table, I think, although let's make it a check if you can do it as part of your move. Otherwise it would spend an action to do so.
okay.
So yeah, I'd say climb or athletic. No, there is no climb. So it would be athletic.
Acrobatics or athletics?
Yeah, you could also acrobatics up there. I
Ha
think
ha ha!
Yeah.
Master of acrobatics.
Yeah, you like hit your hip against the table as you try to lift, to use your momentum. So you're gonna have to spend an action to climb up there.
Oh, ouch! Still can't climb up there.
Oh,
There we
right from
go.
there. There you go.
That's my third action.
That's it. Soma.
Well, with taking breath, she will continue trying. Oh, no, she will try to inspire courage, because she's frightened.
Nice. Yeah. Who are you trying to convince here, Soma? Mm-hmm.
And I will try to make it lingering. Although that probably will not as cool because I will not waste the point. Yeah. However, she will turn to divine help because, as she just remembered, she she has this hunter's brooch, so she will present it in a very strong manner and with a brief scale. Just forgive me. She will call upon the power of Erastil and cast Disrupt Undead on this.
Nice. Using one of the relics, one of the icons.
Yes. One of the good things about Disrupt Undead is apparently that I don't need to make an attack, so it's affected by my frightened 4.
Well, I think your DC is impacted, though.
It's
But it's a basic, so it still takes half of this. And this is vitality damage, so it does go all the way through. Yeah, so it definitely crit fails. Okay, so it didn't crit fail. Good. Okay, so with the power of, or with a hint of the power of one of the heroic team whose name I forgot, the Rhodes Guard,
Rose Guard, yes.
who we all, of course, vividly remember, and especially Soma. Yeah, with a fraction of that power returning to this. Well, actually, they've never come this far down, but yeah, you use that to hurt the specter. And then it's the specter's turn. Let's see. It isn't really very clear-minded. It is hateful and rageful, and it just wants to spread pain around. And I think it's aware that Ottardo could not be corrupted as easily as it thought, so it wants to spread it to as many souls as possible, which means it'll turn to Birke and try to corrupt her. So that would be first a vile touch, trying to touch her. Didn't work. So that actually takes 2 actions out of it, because the corruption means it needs to spend 2 actions on that one attack. Leaves it with a third action, which it will use for just a regular vile touch, which is a success and does 21
Oof.
points of damage. Just void, just negative, pure energy damage.
Ottardo will react here and grant Birke 7 points of resistance. So that
Mhm.
reduces it to 14 points, and he will uh, try to smite the thing.
And you strike it. Thanks to the flanking and the Inspire Courage, you strike it for 16 points of damage, and some of it comes through. And then it's your turn, Ottardo.
Uh, well, he is going to raise his shield once more. And then he will attempt to where do I have it? Uh, to rouse everybody into just bashing this thing as quick as possible. Why do I not see it? Oh, here. Okay. So he will attempt to enter Dread Martial Stance,
Mm-hmm.
and he will fail at doing that.
Okay.
And for his last action, he will swing again at the creature.
And once again, thanks to the flanking and the Inspire Courage. Oh, but it didn't have the map in there.
Uh, there's no map. First action was
There's no-
shield. Second
Oh,
action
oh,
was
right. The attack was because of the your
that was a
reaction.
reaction. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So once again, some of that damage comes through, even though it's incorporeality. Of course, makes it hard to do physical damage. Then it's Birke's turn, I believe.
Yep. And Birke. Um. Well, she has this thing fanged, but that does not seem to help on the first attack.
But the second one strikes true, and she does some damage to it.
And for the last action, Birke is going to step away from the creature.
Okay. Lucca, your turn.
Uh, what can I do with this lantern? Can I like unhook it? Can I hold
Um,
it?
well, I'd say it's dangling from a chain that's anchored into the ceiling, but you could just kind of like direct it at the creature. It doesn't have a whole lot of range, but where it is right now, it would still be like properly illuminated by it, you would think.
Okay. Can I use one hand to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to take the lantern and point it in his direction.
All right, and as you do that, and some of that bluish light falls on it, it like all of a sudden like arches its back and screams a horrifying body disembodied scream, and you can see its movements becoming slow and clumsy as it's almost as if it's like having to push through the light as if that had like a physical resistance to it for the creature. So yeah, very good thinking.
And Luca's gonna call out, "The light, you fools! Stay close to the light!" And then he's going to just shoot it with some fire.
Shoot, shoot.
Actually, it's clumsy.
Mm-hmm.
Clumsy is
It makes
Dex.
the AC worse, I think.
Yep, including AC
definitely makes
reflex saves.
dexterity-based checks. AC. Okay. Is it worth another flaming sphere? There's two actions. I can sustain and I can keep the light on it. But then I can't do it. Yeah, I'll just produce flame it. We'll see how that goes.
Oh, you
Not
miss.
well, evidently.
Yeah,
That's my
so have
turn.
I. That's your turn. But it certainly sets up your team for a better situation. Soma, your turn.
Actually, I'm not actually forced to run away from this right now. Soma will try to make a tactical hiding place behind Ottardo.
Mm-hmm.
That was one. Then I will try to continue inspiring courage in everyone, and especially in myself. And hopefully, eventually it will stick and become lingering.
Soma.
That was 2 actions. I will once again.
Okay. All right. Here comes its turn. First of all, I gotta remember to count down Soma's frightened status. Okay, so yeah, it's caught in that light, and you see it like move very slowly as if it has to overcome a whole lot of resistance, and it gains only one action now because it's slowed 2, and it uses it to like try to crawl out of that cone of light, and it does so. It like pulls itself over here, and then even further to get away from the light. And now it's at a distance, Lucca, that would be obvious to you that with this lantern, you wouldn't be able to really focus the light on it enough. Um, so that means that it's no longer slowed, and it's no longer clumsy, but it doesn't get its actions back until its next turn, so it's Ottardo.
Okay, well, Ottardo is going to raise his shield.
Please don't go too far away from me, please.
And he will pursue the creature.
Okay, as it's backing into the corner, you strike it for 17.
Uh,
Which it takes 12.
and hmm. Well, he'll follow that up.
Ooh, that's another hit. Thanks to Inspire Courage. And it takes 50. Wow, yeah, you can see it's badly injured. And that was your turn. Then it's Birke.
Birke will move closer and attempt to finish off the thing. Miss.
Okay, but one struck for 21. So yeah, she pushes her Gazarm through the thing, doing some damage to it. And then it's Lucca's turn.
How hurt is? Oh, it's near death. Okay. Lucca will realize it's useless to try to hit it with the lantern this round. So he'll use his movement to come over here, and he'll get off the table if he can.
Oh, I'll pull you off here, yeah.
And
Oh,
he'll
yeah,
try to
part of
climb on the other table if.
All right, you gonna parkour it again?
What ho! Is that good enough?
Not quite. I'm afraid. So you're gonna have to spend your second action to get up there.
Oof! No, he'll just stay put, and then
Okay.
he'll just try to produce flame on it again.
Okay. Ooh, and you miss and scorch the wall instead. Soma.
Okay. first things first, let's try to continue firing. Courage, and hopefully cantrip that doesn't require an attack will allow us to finish.
Okay, let's give it a save. It succeeds at its save, so it still takes half of that damage, which is not enough to ban it or to banish it and to exorcise it. Was that your turn?
Yes, inspire courage and undead reactions.
Okay. How many times can you cast Disrupt Undead? Is it just...
Disrupt undead I can cast all day because it is at will. Just can.
Okay.
I was going to use like another ability, but I thought that near death, so
All right. So, yeah, you try to disrupt it. Lucas is making it, trying to make his way over to the other lantern, and the thing is being cornered by Ottardo. So it just like screams at Ottardo, and then sinks into the floor, and only to pop out again right behind Birke, and then trying to touch her with her spectral corruption, but misses. So that ends its turn. That was an important miss, I would say. Okay, Ottardo.
Ottardo will pursue the creature. And swing his warhammer. Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, it's not. But
Yeah. But yes, I guess like, well, what does it look like? I'll let you tell us how that what it looks like.
well, it is incorporeal, so there's no
Yeah,
real connection there. I guess it's more of a banishing in a shower of light.
gotcha. So basically, as the hammer connects, it's like maybe at first it looks like you struck an iron anvil or something, like sparks flying or something like that. But then it's way too much light that erupts, and when your eyes like your vision comes back, the specter is gone. Nice work. 80 XP for everyone.
Farming today.
All right, so yeah, and you can sense it in the air, like the energy in the room immediately changes. Soma, that really soothes your soul too, and a few moments later, you're no longer frightened. But Ottardo, you still carry that anger and that rage with you for a little while longer, so it'll be an hour until you are no longer stupefied.
Okay.
I can let you know that in advance so you can keep track of it.
Uh, anything of note in the room?
What is this place?
There is still a corpse, you said here?
Well, yeah. So let me tell you again what it looks like. We have these lanterns that were hanging from the ceiling, but then there was also another chain that's dangling next to each table, which doesn't have anything hanging from it. And then there are the remnants of this dead, possibly Morlock, lying on one of the slabs. And then there's the dried blood all over the walls and floor and ceiling.
Can I look at this other chain and try to determine
Yeah, which one?
what this might
Like,
have been?
there's one next to each table. Which one?
I mean, I guess the one with the body.
Okay. Yep. So you can give me a perception roll. Okay. So you look at the chain. It doesn't look like anything broke off. Like there, it doesn't look like the chain just ends with a link. There's no hook on it. And you kind of like follow the chain all the way to the ceiling, and it kind of looks like it's hooked up to something at the top, like a mechanism of some kind.
Uh, Lucca is gonna say, Ottardo, perhaps you would do well to step back. Um, and he himself is going to like move as far away as he can from the table while still holding the chain and give it a yank. Yeah, exactly.
Right. And you pull on it, um, and you do realize like, oh yeah, it's coming out of the ceiling a little bit, and there's like a some sort of mechanical response, and you wait for what's gonna happen, and then you hear like some clicking sound at the table right next to you, and the entire metal slab on top of the table goes floomp, folds down, dumps the remains into a pit, and goes floomp back up. And now there's just the metal slab with some dried bloods and stuff, but the remains are dumped.
Is there a script that changes the tile?
Unfortunately, not. That would be cool, but I
Surprising.
forgot to put that in.
I hope there was nothing important on that body. Well, hmm. Did I get a good look at what it was dumping into, or is it just like a
But look
stone?
what it. Yeah, I guess you would see that it was like a pretty deep shaft. Too deep, unless you were really like peering into it, you wouldn't be able to see the bottom.
Well, now I have to pull the other chains to see if they do the same thing.
So you're gonna.
Yeah, I'll pull the one on the table I'm next to.
Okay. Yeah, indeed, they go like shunk, and then a moment later, shonk, back up. And I guess this time, the since you were kind of expecting that, that would give you enough time to peer over the edge to see what's down there.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You only have low light vision, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But there's a lantern
So
shining in it,
Yeah,
so.
we do have lights.
yes, so you can definitely see all the way down. It's about 40 feet, you would say. And it's just a shaft that goes down for most of it, but you can kind of see at the very end that that it seems to be opening up, so it's probably dumping it into some larger chamber below. Um, and as you look down, yes, there is indeed this lantern which shines down, and you have the low light vision, so you see a little bit. Um, there is like some yellowish slime that seems to be at the bottom of the shaft. And give me a perception check. Yeah, it's a pretty big puddle of that slime, and just before the slabs close, you feel like you saw like a ripple in there, like almost like a contraction, as if it was about to move, and then chunk goes back shut.
Alright, we'll try. We'll do the last one just for completeness, and I'll also peer down there and see if I see the same thing.
All right. Give me another perception check. Okay. So this time you look down, most of it is pretty much the same, but you don't see any of that yellow slime, except actually you just barely managed to see like a little chunk of it kind of like slide out of view right as the slab opens.
Well, judging by the depth, I would assume that these pits open onto the same layer that I fell into priorly. But there does seem to be something alive and oozy down there, so uh, just note that. Uh,
Disposal pit or something.
yes. And I imagine some creature down there that might enjoy snacking on remains. But it still sheds little light on the exact purpose of this room. There are no restraints, no torture implements.
Um,
Nothing of the sort.
No additional magic, I presume, that I could detect.
or
Can you tune out those lanterns? Because those definitely register. Don't you just know like magic or not?
I just know magic is there, but it does say that I can
Oh, right, and you can
uh,
direct it, so you can like
you can
scan.
choose to ignore magic you're fully aware of.
Oh, I see. Nice. Okay, yeah. So there's no further magical sources.
Okay. Uh, uh, well, what grim fate befell the creatures who found themselves in this room, I can only speculate. But unless someone has some brilliant idea, I suggest we move on.
yeah.
Maybe we can take some time to patch up. Birke and I have taken some damage, and I could spend some time patching up my shield too.
Right. So in that case, yeah. Well, please sit down here. I will see to your wounds.
Would you mind having a look here? I think I have a slight dislocation. I have this wound that just won't go away.
So yeah. In that case, we shall at least treat uh, treat wounds on Lucca, and I will not take a risk of taking DC 20 check. I will treat wounds normally. And it won't be enough anyway. Ah, no, wait, it is. Never mind. It's completely fine now.
Yes, thank you. That was a little out of place, but now it feels better.
And after that, I will treat Birke as well. But maybe I will take a risk with Birke. The expert DC 20. I had a good success last time, and no, it's not. So I suppose I will have to just chill her on.
Should I use the wand on her?
Uh, we can save that for later.
Be fine.
Ottardo will after he finishes refocusing, he will
Oh,
again
yeah, just lay on
lay
it.
hands on her. Um,
Can you end the encounter? Unless it's something important.
Oh, I didn't realize. Sorry.
uh, and lastly, yeah, that's good enough.
Fix your shield. All right. So how much time has passed? Was that 20 minutes? Did I?
That should be a little over 20 minutes.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Waste no time.
In.
Down the hall or across it?
Well,
Ooh, this hall keeps on going.
Uh, well, I'd say let's uh, let's not leave surprises behind us.
and someone will like immediately start playing the defense song again because I mean, at this point, you just have to.
Okay. Alright, so hold on a second here. Okay. So you open the doors ready for anything, and you find what looks like a supply room. Pretty big for just a closet, so it truly is like a proper room. And it's lined with shelves of dusty bottles and looks like surgical equipment. There are cobwebs and dust that hint that this chamber has probably remained untouched for quite some time. And at the center of the room, there's a solitary pushcart. And Soma's flute notes fill the room, but nothing immediately jumps out at you for a change.
Ottardo, hit that cart. It's suspicious.
Well,
Oh,
Ottardo was
someone kicks it.
intrigued by the colorful little thingies on the
Yeah,
shelf.
there's quite a few colorful little thingies, and you look them over and you realize that well, actually, there's quite a bunch of supplies here that are still usable. So you should be able to make good use of that if you like to. Also, Birke finds a round key that fell behind one of the shelves, and she just kind of, you know, always trying to keep an eye out for anything. She notices it. This key is kind of weird in the sense that it has a round shaft that is tipped with several teeth of varying length. So it's kind of an odd design, as opposed to that copper key that looked like just any other key.
Okay, well, she'll pocket that.
Soma kicks the cart and it just shakes a little bit. Some dust flies up. You inhale it, you die. But other than that, nothing happens.
Well, it looks like we have some expanded healer's tools here.
Yep, like I said, like those are actually quite well made tools that you find, and lots of the supplies are still very usable.
So I nab those because it's very useful.
Don't you love it in video games when you suddenly find a bunch of medkits and ammo packs?
This sheds new light on the chamber across from us, though. Perhaps it is used for these tools here. Alchemical reagents. I shudder to think, says Lucca as he pockets the reagents. What horrible purpose could they have been bent to?
And did they keep notes?
And did they keep me out? Well, look, I know. There's another healer's tools here if someone wants it. But
Ottardo already has his, and I believe Birke is not. Let me double check.
I am
For my own
incapable of using them effectively, so we'll just sell them. Oh, there's two sets of them. That's 10 gold pieces. Can't leave those behind. Unfortunately, they're also 2 bulk, so I'll have to leave those behind.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Birke could carry some. Let me double check. She could carry one. And
I can carry one of them, I suppose.
okay.
I'll take the other, even though I won't be much good with it. Let's see. I know I was perhaps a bit quick on the uptake with all the suggestion of secret doors and such, but do you not find it suspicious that there was a key here, a strangely shaped key, behind a shelf, as if it was being kept in this room on purpose?
You
Is it
think
not
that
possible that there is some hidden nook or cranny here? Supply closet seems like a perfect place to hide a secret door.
well, we could take a look?
Hey, Lucca. Look.
Hey, I mean, Birke gives it another look. It makes a round through the room once.
I search
Uh,
in a 15-foot burst.
Yep. Um, you look around too, but no, that really just seems to be a particularly well-equipped supply closet.
Well, never mind then, I suppose. I am once again overly eager to find a secret door for some reason.
Well, everyone likes finding secret doors. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right.
Well, what do we have here?
Okay, so you continue down the hallway, and you get to a point where you may need to make a decision. You could either turn left at the same level or elevation, basically, or you could go down a few steps. This hallway goes and descends underneath a footbridge of a sort that it crosses the hall at about 20 feet above the ground.
Uh, I think Ottardo sees some shimmering lights
He
over
does.
here.
What?
He
Oh,
does.
Think so?
Hold on.
I do too if I stand in this spot.
To the east?
Some sort of particle effect.
There.
Yeah, yeah. There looks like there's something going on, huh?
Well, maybe we should go check that out.
Okay, so you move in that direction. Hold on.
No.
Yeah,
Hold on. Oh, sorry. Oh, excuse me. No, there we go.
the Three Stooges bit here. Okay, so you keep on moving down the hallway here, and eventually, yep, if you keep going,
I just saw our lights go out. Was that normal?
I don't know, did somebody turn off the light?
Maybe. If that someone is you.
I
I
saw a
didn't.
light spell deactivate.
Oh, you know what? Those are actually timed, so it just,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, well,
So
that's
Soma or whoever had that light spell active, it just deactivated.
yep.
There we
So
go.
Ottardo got his back, and
Oh,
I
I
guess
should have.
Soma.
Mine is saying that I've used up all of my lantern oil, but it's I have a what do you call it? An ever burning torch. Why is that not active? Because it wants me to have it in one hand in order to
Mm.
show light.
Okay, so you continue along this hallway, and after a little while, it opens up into this sort of gallery here that would take you north and south. And there's also another, footbridge essentially that crosses what looks like a stately hallway that stretches all the way from a single door to the north to the south as far as you can see in the darkness here. Um, Let me tell you a little bit about that hallway. And I'm not talking about the gallery that we're on here. I'm talking about the one that you see down there about 20 feet below. Um, so you're standing on this balcony and you look down. First of all, above you, actually, there are vaulted ceilings and they reach 20 feet above you right here, so about 40 feet over the ground level. Um, there are frescoes on the walls depicting powerful creatures in battle with each other, like all sorts of creatures. Pinpoints of light glimmer in the vaulted ceiling. That's the lights that you saw from afar, and
Okay.
they slightly illuminate the hallway, but just with like a very pale radiance. The balconies that you're currently on, or at least on one of them, run the length of the hallway as far as you can see, both north and south. Like I said, they're about 20 feet above the floor, and the low railings are rusty and twisted in places. The stone bridge that you're standing at connects these balconies across the hallway, and then you could continue into the tunnel to the east or hallway to the east. Um, as you see or kind of like peek up and down that hallway, you spot several badly damaged statues that decorate the southern end of the hall. You know, they're just at the edge of your perception here. So that's that.
Ottardo will step forward and with his warhammer will try to lean on the footbridge.
Okay.
See
Yeah.
if it feels
Sure.
sturdy.
That's caution is definitely wise here, and you like shift your weight carefully to before you fully step on it. But it seems to be solid, well constructed.
Long haul.
Yeah, long hall indeed. And then, the hallway kind of disappears in darkness, but then at the far end, you can see light again. And
Very long haul.
not just those like pinpoints of light that you saw from this hallway, but like proper or like almost torchlight.
Oh,
But
oh, there. Oh,
Not a Spider-Man.
yeah, and it is in that light that you see these statues which are mostly
okay.
around the southern edge, and you see the damage that some of those statues suffered. Yeah, and if you continue down that hallway, it like bends and turns. Um, Once again, being in darkness here, and then you can continue onwards, and on and on. You turn a couple of corners until you reach a single door at the end of this hallway.
Hmm. That is a bit isolated.
That's what gives with the zigzags.
Ottardo will give the door a try.
All right, you push it open, and it opens up, and you see a room that is, as just furnished with the bare necessities, it seems. However, there are whatever furniture was in here, um, you know, padded furniture, mostly like seating areas, is now covered in mounds of white fungus that just blossoms all over this furniture.
Uh, it,
Yeah.
it,
Hold on,
does it?
before we continue, I'd like
Okay.
Soma to do this role if she can.
I
Hmm.
probably can because
Great.
I private.
Yes, please. Okay. So as you walk in there, and I guess that makes sense that you're the last one in, so everyone else is already in there, and it's just kind of like, ooh, gross. You see those fungi, and you recognize them, and it alarms you because these are these are potentially gonna go airborne. Maybe they already are, and you might risk inhaling them if you stay in this room for too long. Or not just inhaling, it might just contact on your skin might already cause that. So yeah, prolonged exposure might be really dangerous.
It was what?
What's that?
I mean, might cause what exactly? I mean,
You
it
don't
didn't.
know. I mean, it's just that you know
Ah,
these kind of fungi and these spores could do weird things. So
okay.
you're just worried that it might be something bad.
In that case, I
There's
mean,
one
she
way to
will
find out.
call out and say like, Sir Ottardo, Birke, please try not to breathe that thing in. It, yeah, those the spores might, like, I don't know, was something bad. Like, what happened last time when we fought mushrooms? I don't remember. And she takes a deep breath and before going in and like, hold her breath.
Hmm. So it looks like you all try to move there as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
Not okay, not lingering for too long. Okay, and yeah, so beyond that door, there's another short hallway, and then you enter an area where a counter wraps around the northern and northeastern wall, and it bears a few cracked serving dishes. There's also a dusty and shattered display case, and it features only grime and broken glass at this point. However, Birke can do this perception check here.
The counter bit, that's the room that we just left, right?
It shouldn't be. I think there's. Oh,
Moldy looking
oh,
white furniture in this room.
yeah. Oh, wow. The journal entries got switched up here. Um, yeah, that's true. So let's just assume that we did this exactly the other way around. So let me move those notes because they really messed it up here. So time seems to be weird here. Time and space morphs around. But yeah, so like I said, that was actually in that other room. And in passing, because there's clearly nothing in that shattered display case, but in passing, Birka takes a quick look into it, and she spots a carving. Like somebody had carved the words, "They are watching you," into one of the wooden sides of the display case.
Oh, well, that's ominous.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, let's move everyone back here.
Pretty spooky.
Yeah, so it's
Who's
down.
watching us?
Oops. Let me move everyone. Um, nope. What's going on? Oh, I don't have the right tool selected. I should be able to. Nope. What's going on here? Why do I not have power to move Ottardo? Has Ottardo gone become
He
this powerful?
moved. He's right here.
Oh, okay, weird. Okay, we still seem to be in the other location. So yeah, so this is the display case here where Birker notices that carving or that carved
and
inscription.
and the room has a counter and a display case and anything else?
No, just the door that leads to that hallway that we have
Okay.
definitely not gone down yet.
What
Okay,
could
well
this
then.
area have been used for? I'm so perplexed. It's all the way off to one side. Display case? For what? Why is there a counter?
Yeah, and serving dishes.
Serving is just somebody's personal quarters.
Hmm. Well, maybe the following rooms will shed some light.
Hmm. Well, the room that follows immediately next, that's where then Soma warns you to not linger for too long because the couch and this the seat that is here, like the cushioned seat, are all covered in that weird looking fungus that's just blooming.
Okay, and then Ottardo will try this door.
All right, and there's another short hallway.
Wow, this place is odd.
It sure is oddly shaped, isn't it? All right. Yeah, there's another door here. Okay, so you open another door, and finally you open a door into a larger room. However, this one is just as weird as the other ones. First of all, it's oddly shaped, and then there are weapon racks that stand in the northeast and southeast corners of the room. The southeast rack is empty, this one, but the northeast one um, holds a hatchet which looks like it was made of some dark crystal. There are two alcoves between the racks on the eastern wall, and each of these alcoves has an open hatch and a ladder leading down. There are more doors here, one leading out to the north and one leading out to the west.
Hmm. Some sort of barracks, maybe?
Maybe.
Barracks
And
for what? Guards to guard whom?
yeah, good question.
We are how many? What, over 100 feet beneath the surface by now? Perhaps more.
This complex clearly outgrown the mere lighthouse that it was pretending to be.
Either way, at some point we should probably try to go to the top of the lighthouse since we haven't done that
Yeah. Oh,
yet. We keep going down and we haven't gone up. Which is funny, especially considering we've seen the light from the Gauntlight like shine out and make monsters and raise the dead. We haven't gone to look at the light itself.
yeah.
But in the meantime, what is this dark crystal hatchet?
Uh, you want to grab it?
I want to look at it and see if it's magical.
Okay. So you can tell by just using your detect magic um, that it is not magic.
Oh, it's not magic. Okay.
But you can give me a perception check. And all right, okay. I'll reveal that because it's a crit and it's amazing. Because what you notice is like you take a close look at this hatchet. It looks so interesting. That dark crystal. Hold on a second. Is that hatchet seems to be somewhat fused with the rack itself, almost like there was an organic like kind of growth between the two of them, like the skin between your fingers. And did that just ever so almost unnoticeably, but just a tiny little bit twitch?
Hatchet is alive or something. I'm very confused, but it doesn't seem to be made of dark crystal at all, or if it is, the crystal is alive. Lucca's torn between being fascinated and wanting to pick it up and wanting to set it on fire.
Yeah, I think at this point, Somo will start putting two and two together. Will like just step away from that now, and we'll try to set it on fire.
What?
Like how?
I forgot. So, alright, actually. Actually have an alchemist fire.
So you toss an alchemist fire at it. Dum, 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 dum.
An alchemist fire.
Okay, I'll say that.
Sorry, I'll click it again.
That's tricky. Okay, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll for initiative. Then we'll see. Then we'll see how this plays out.
I genuinely don't know what this is. So.
I know, it's so cool.
Can I use that natural 20 for initiative?
Yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So that makes your initiative what?
31.
31.
Tied with Birke, amazingly.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, Lucca,
Or actually,
you.
just 30, actually. Birke is first.
Oh, okay. So I'll say what has happened yet is that basically Lucca like noticed this weird, or he said that he thinks this might be alive or that this is something weird, and Birke is the first one who acts on that, or who can act on it. I'll say Lucca is still right here as this happens. Sam, what's gonna happen?
Well, Birke at this point still doesn't see anything wrong happening. Maybe maybe she'll do a seek. She'll try to inspect the place.
Okay. Yeah, roll a perception, a blind perception.
Okay. Poke it with your glaive.
And you're not sure what Lucca is saying. Like, you don't see anything. Everything seems to be perfectly normal.
And I think that'll be the only thing she does.
Okay, I mean, she has 2 actions, so she could ready for something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll guess she'll ready an attack in case any hostile creature were to
Yep.
take a hostile action.
Yep, that's good enough for me, within her reach. Okay. Lucca.
I guess Lucca will back away just like he did. As he's like, it's alive. I don't know whether to pick it up or set it on fire. I guess he's holding the staff of necromancy in one hand. I guess he'll like poke at it with the staff.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You poke at it with your staff, and as you do so, something like mind-boggling happens. Like you poke it and you feel like it gives way, like way more than whatever crystal is made out of should. And in the same instance, it transforms into um, an alien sort of monster, which is known as a mimic.
Okay.
And it's not just the hatchet; it's the entire rack changes. all together. And it can now, because you interacted with it in that way, it'll now like that will trigger its response as a reaction, and it gets to do the following: the triggering creature is automatically stuck by the mimic's adhesive. You receive no save, so you are stuck, which means if by efficiently you're grabbed. Um, a weapon that hits the mimic is stuck to the mimic and can be removed with a successful athletics check. So I'll say that. Oh, sorry. You didn't touch it, so you're not grabbed in that sense. But your staff of necromancy is now stuck to it, and you would have
Okay.
to yank it off. So that's stuck to it, and it transformed itself. Stuck the mimic that makes, and now it gets to make a pseudopod strike at you as like it completely becomes amorphous and then just like a almost like a whip-like appendage lashes out, and
It's all part of its reaction?
that's all part of this reaction.
Oh
Like,
no.
yeah,
Okay, well that's bad.
and
I collapsed to a pile of bones on the floor.
okay, so it's just a regular hit then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you take 15 points of damage, or the pile on the floor takes 15 points of damage. Um, okay, you're hit by the mimic, so can the pile of bones take a reflex save? I'll say that is happening as you go down.
Reflex save. Yeah. Ugh.
Okay, so you do transform into a pile of bones, but you don't really completely end up on the floor. It's like you stick to the mimic's pseudopod like a flycatcher, and you are now in effect grabbed and collapsed. Okay, that was its reaction. I think you have one action left.
Um, yeah. I imagine like
Just,
this
just a
this
quick question: would a reaction trigger Birke's readied action?
Oh,
Oh, I mean, it
let me
has
read.
revealed itself. Yeah, let's say it does. Yep, yep, should.
Okay. Oh, I
Nice.
sorry, I didn't target.
Yep, but that is a hit, definitely. So let's roll for damage. 15 points. So yeah, I mean, she is surprised, but she was ready for anything, literally anything, and anything happened. So he strikes it for 15. Does that
Is her
ready
weapon
action
stuck
don't?
now?
That's a good point. I will get to that in a second. But reaction or ready action don't move your initiative into E, right? You're
No,
staying.
no. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so she strikes it, but maybe she should have thought about this twice because indeed, this thing is so sticky. She needs to make a reflex save.
Oh. Uh,
And okay, and she manages to like yank her weapon off the creature. So that was her ready action, and now Lucca still has one action left.
Um, yeah. Well, when Lucas collapsed, the only action he can take is to reform. So I imagine like the pseudopod lashes out, smacks him to pieces with that crit, sticks to his skull, and it starts pulling his skull back into its body. And then like as he starts trying to reform, all of the bones that went scattering everywhere all get pulled over to where the skull is, which is in the creature. And he's like, oh, wait, no, this isn't good. Oh. And he's just back in not collapsed form.
Gotcha. All right, then it is Ottardo's turn.
well, Ottardo is going to raise his shield and then um, he's going to try to smack this thing.
Okay. Yeah, you strike it for 8 points.
And then once more. Oh yeah, well there's a save, I guess.
Yes, you need to make sure you retrieve your weapon. Oh, sorry. Actually, that's not how that works. I should have read that more closely. When you use a weapon here, the weapon just is stuck if it hits, but you can use a separate action to yank it off.
Okay, so it's not reflex, it's
Yes.
athletics to pull it. Okay.
And it's an action. It's a separate action. So if you hit
Oh.
it, the weapon gets stuck, and now you need to spend an action to yank it off.
Oh. Okay.
So
Well.
let's have Birke do that first.
Okay. Let me switch
Yeah, she
over.
would have gotten one less. Well, no, it's not her turn yet.
Yeah,
Oh, she
that was
doesn't
a
have that
reaction.
yet. That's
That was a
Yeah.
true.
reaction.
She can't do that yet. You're right. So her weapon currently is stuck, and you can see her like. Right, Ottardo, you can spend that action though, I think.
Yes. And it would be his last action. Question is, would this be is it like an escape where it counts as an attack and takes map
No,
or not?
no, no.
Okay. Well, let's see that.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, you yank it off. With the like Velcro sort of sound. You peel it off. And then it is the mimic's turn. I've never actually had a mimic in play. I can't believe that we finally.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, I know it's so iconic, but never actually used one.
I distinctly remember one sarcophagus that devoured our
you're right.
party.
Yes, you're right, actually. That's true. Okay, so it has currently grabbed Lucca, so I think it is very much going to try and beat him to a pulp so that it can devour him. So it's going to target Lucca and then lash out with one of its pseudopods,
Aye.
critically hitting.
Can I
Uh,
collapse again? When does
Well,
that refresh?
it's a reaction, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
This one.
used it on my turn before.
I believe you get your reactions back at the beginning of your turn.
yeah.
Okay, so no, I can't.
Your says there in the tablet it's once per 10 minutes.
Oh, that's
okay.
right, yeah. I can't do
So
it
it's
all the time. So.
36 points of damage. Really,
Ottardo will react to that, so
It
he will
doesn't
grant you
matter.
he will grant you resistance 7.
It doesn't matter.
a good effort. And it gives Ottardo the attack of opportunity, which he uses to hit it. And he does. How much damage? 15 points. All right, boom. Yeah, you smack it for 15. Okay, you can see like there this creature is strange and alien and shapeless. It's basically now like a moving weapon rack, with weird appendages, and there's this mouth forming with large teeth, and it's like it has this purple tongue, and it licks its wooden lips or seemingly wooden lips as Lucca gets unconscious, and it drops him, I would say, or it kind of like releases it from the adhesive and focuses its attention on Ottardo for its second action, with another slap of its pseudopod missing, and then the third one missing as well. Soma, your turn.
So I mean, if you want, I can continue with my direct action of trying to set it on fire, or I can help out Luke.
You have no information. You can do it anyway you like.
Well, I suppose so. Like, it would probably would have been Soma's first instinct to try and set it on fire, but the situation escalated very quickly. Yeah, I think I will try to battle medicine Lucca back to his feet. Be one step towards him. Test our new banded healers tool. Takes not treat wounds. One modifier from tools.
Ooh, you just make it.
Yep. And those tools made the difference apparently.
Yep, that's right. Okay, Lucca comes to.
That was one action to move, one action to do this, and I suppose that's very defense.
Okay. So then it's Birke's turn.
And she will start by trying to retrieve or keep grasp of her weapon. There's the athletics. Ooh.
Oof, yeah, no, she basically, needs to let go of her weapon as she fails to retrieve it.
What can she do to try again?
She can do another athletics check. That's fine. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Well, she will do so. Oh man.
Yeah, it's just kind of like swinging it around, and she tries to like trying to get a hold of it.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Fails to do so. Yeah, pitiful sight. Lucca.
Yeah, Lucca went unconscious, which means he dropped everything he was holding. He I guess he'll stand up and he'll probably back away. And they'll say, "I'm sorry, Souma, your instincts were correct." And he will he'll diabolic edict Ottardo once again, and he'll say, "Go get him, tiger!"
So you back away towards the southern weapon rack, and then send Ottardo into the fray. Right.
Let's see. Where's my diabolic edict? There we go.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so I think Ottardo has to start by attempting to retrieve his well, to keep a solid grasp on his hammer, because he ended with an attack, so he's gonna try that. Ooh, man.
That's You can't yank it off.
Well, he's going to raise his shield and then attempt that again.
All right. Do another athletics. And you managed to get that weapon back, and that's the end of your turn. So then it's the mimic's turn again, and it has Ottardo right in front of it. It is like making a disgruntled sound as Lucca suddenly springs back to life and moves away. It's probably not going to make that mistake again, so it strikes Ottardo and does 9 points of damage. And now I will need a reflex save from you. Ooh, you crit.
That's going to be hero point.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh
But you
man.
still fail, though. Okay.
Oh no.
You are effectively grabbed by one of its pseudopods, and then it uses another one to hit you once again. Thanks to you being off guard, that actually hits. And it does 10 points of damage to you as it's just clobbering you with strikes. So it have one left? Or did it miss with the first one? Yeah, it does have one left, so let's see that last one. And it misses. Okay. It's nice. The adhesive doesn't mean that means that you don't have to take an action to grab. So it's Soma's turn.
Okay. This time I'll try to think practical. I will inspire courage. Everyone. That's since everyone's turn. Inspired to creature. And I take first steps in this by casting projectile, which I will not have to retrieve afterward.
All right. You shoot it at a bludgeoning projectile at it, which strikes and. Oof!
Nice.
That's a
That
very
is
nice amount.
an impressive amount of damage, and you clobber it. But yeah, it's still alive, still moving. Was that your turn?
Yes.
Okay, then it's Birke.
Birke has to try to get a grip.
And yes, she met. No, actually, that is not enough. So once again, it just kind of like poof, flies over her head.
Oh no!
And one
Kidding me?
kick is it's like almost taunting her. You know, it's not really paying attention to her, but it's like playing keep away. So it feels like it's playing keep away. Yep.
Oh
And
no!
nope, she just kind of sheepishly tries to get her Gazarm back. Lucca, your turn.
Alright. Oh my god.
Oh, you miss.
Can't hit for shit today. I think that is all I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Because I don't have any cool one action spells to throw out.
All right. Ottardo.
Uh,
I'll use my last action to message Birka and say, "Stop messing around!"
uh, I'm trying to remember if Ottardo ended up.
You got your
With
weapon
his
back. Yep.
weapon back. Okay. Well, he's going to smack the bad furniture.
Okay. Speaking of back furniture, yeah, so while being stuck to it, you manage to connect a blow and do enough damage to it so that it kind of like slams against the wall and then slides or sticks to it. And you're still stuck to it. And depending on how quickly you want to move here, I, I guess like a minute later, the adhesive dissolves and it slides down the wall. And Ottardo is, at the very least, at that time, finally released. And that's 30 XP for all of you.
Lucca goes forward and puts one foot in it and it's like, and he grabs a staff out of it.
And so does Birke to retrieve her Gazarm, I would think.
Yep.
Okay. And as you retrieve your weapons, you like look over your shoulder at the southern weapon rack, which just stands there completely inconspicuously. Or is it just waiting? We'll find out next time.